Hi guys, Goalkeeper here and welcome to another FIFA 20 video, and today guys, I'm going to be taking a look at the upcoming team of the group stage predictions for the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League. We've had 5 different match days now for both competitions. There is only one match day left in like 10 days time or whatever, and then obviously after that, kind of tying in with Footmas, we can expect this sort of promo to be released, which is obviously going to be really fun as well. And we're going to basically look through a 21-man squad that I think will get into packs, and also 2 players that could get into SBCs. Last year, EA did it as 21 players into packs, 16 from the Champions League, 5 from the Europa League, and also 2 player SBCs. These cards follow the exact same format of upgrades as how Informs would get them. So as you can see on the screen right here, Mertens, a slight little error there by my GFXs, and I'll let him off on this occasion. It's supposed to be an 89 rated card. He's put him down as a 90 just by accident, but yeah, that's just so you guys know he has an 88 rated inform. I put him down as a prediction, so he would go to an 89. He shouldn't be 90 rated. That's just a slight error on that part, but everything else should be fine for the ratings in this video. So let's, guys, take a look at the first batch of players, which is going to be the goalkeepers. We're going to start off with Keylor Navas and Edison. Now, there are going to be only 2 goalkeepers that I think that will get in here. Last year, for example, we did have David De Gea and Handanovic get in, so I'm probably guessing it's just going to be 2 goalkeepers again this year, and that's how it usually runs for these type of promos, that 2 goalkeepers will get in. Any more than 2 goalkeepers, that is just not necessary in my opinion. But Navas has done very well for PSG, who are already guaranteed to top their group. He's played all 5 of their games so far, keeping 4 clean sheets, not losing any games so far either for PSG. He's done very well for them. He's already had a few informs in FIFA, but that certainly will not stop him from getting himself a team of the group stage card. He's done very well with them. Obviously PSG were able to come back later on as well, earlier on this week against Paris Saint-Germain, to keep their unbeaten record so far in the Champions League as well. And Navas, obviously keeping 4 clean sheets, has done a really good job. And another goalkeeper will be Edison of Manchester City. He's kept 3 clean sheets in the 5 games that he has played for Manchester City, in a group which has kind of turned out to be a little bit difficult than what was expected. Obviously Atalanta, Dinamo Zagreb and Shakhtar on paper probably aren't the biggest names, but actually the really gritty teams that, you know, you go into these stadiums and like like in the far east of Europe and stuff like that, with Zagreb are, and Shakhtar and stuff, and they're actually not easy places to go. You know, they're very weird atmospheres and stuff, but City have been able to cope with it very well, and have obviously come out guaranteed top to top their group. And obviously Edison coming out with 3 clean sheets is very good. So let's now move on into the defense. Okay guys, so moving along into the defense, the first player we're going to go with is going to be Meunier of PSG. I expect quite a few players from the likes of PSG and Bayern Munich to be able to get into this team of the group stage team. Last year we saw Barcelona get 3 different players into their team. I believe it was PK, Messi and Rakitic that got into the team, or maybe it was Jordi Alba into the PK, I'm not too sure. But because of how well PSG and Bayern Munich have done in their group stage, I expect quite a few of their players to get into that team as well, and that's why I think Meunier has got a very good chance. He's had 4 clean sheets for PSG. He's played in all 5 games, I do believe, for them as well so far, and also getting 1 goal and 1 assist makes him a likely contender to be able to slot into this team of the group stage team. Then the next player will be the first UEFA Europa League player that we could say. That's going to be Escudero of Sevilla. He's been able to keep 4 clean sheets in the 5 games that he's played with so far. He's also been able to get 1 assist for Sevilla as well, who have won all 5 of their matches and are guaranteed to qualify top of their respective groups. So I think both of these cards are very much in with good shouts to be able to get in there. Then getting into the next set of defenders is going to be Longley of Barcelona. Obviously Barcelona are also guaranteed to top their group, and a difficult group as well. You know, obviously having Borussia Dortmund and Inter Milan in the same group as well is not easy, but Barcelona being able to come out on top and guaranteed to finish top as well. Longley didn't get any goals or any assists, but he was able to keep 2 clean sheets, and they've only conceded 3 goals as well, I believe, in like the 5 games Barcelona, which is really good against the levels of opposition that they are playing in. So I think Longley is definitely in with a first shout at being able to get in there. And then also Pavard of Bayern Munich. Now, this is a difficult one for me because, first of all, he could either come out as a centre-back or a right-back. I'll put him as a right-back. If anything, I actually hope he gets a centre-back card, but he has so far in the 5 games played 2 as a centre-back and 2 games as a right-back. And in those games, he's been able to keep 3 clean sheets and also get 3 assists as well. So based on the fact that he's played more games so far as a right-back would obviously mean he's likely to more, get the card as a right-back. But who knows, in that last game, he might play as a centre-back and they might give him a centre-back card. We're not too sure. But if he is going to get one, it's obviously going to be in one of those 2 positions. To to be able to keep quite a few clean sheets in a pretty difficult group as well has been very, very good. They've had some fantastic wins in that group, for example, beating Spurs 7-2 away. I think their last game was actually home to Spurs as well, so if they can come out with a good result there, I'm sure it will just increase Pavard's chance even more of making it into this team. But anyway, guys, let's now move on into the midfielders. Okay, guys, so moving along into the midfield, the first batch we're going to look at is going to be, first of all, Raheem Sterling of Manchester City. Now, I'll be honest, I think I've said it quite a few times on this channel, I'm not a fan for Sterling and his behaviour a lot of the time, but what I will say is I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he very much deserves to be able to get into this team of the group stage card. Interestingly, he actually hasn't had any special cards so far in FIFA 20, which is just so harsh on him, to be fair. But he's been so consistent so far in the Champions League. He's had 5 goals and 2 assists. That's fantastic levels of consistency over the 5 games so far in the Champions League. So I think a card has got to be thoroughly deserved for him. And the same applies to Tolisso as well for Bayern Munich. He's had 5 assists and 2 goals. And that's an amazing return from a central centre midfield player. To get 5 assists in 5 Champions League group games is an unbelievable return, as well as getting 2 goals as well is fantastic. So I think both of these 2 cards stand a very good chance of being able to get into the team of the group stage. The next batch is going to be Mohamed Salah and Martinelli. We're going to start off with Salah first. He's been able to get himself 3 goals and 2 assists. Pretty decent for Liverpool. He's trying to help them obviously qualify. As it stands, they're going to be able to qualify top as long as they do beat Salzburg away, but even still can kind of guarantee qualification if they draw or get beat by 1 goal as well. But Salah has done very well in games against like Genk away and Salzburg at home. He ran the show in those games. Yes, against Napoli he maybe wasn't the best, but overall for the most part he still played very, very well across the team of the group stage, and I think a card could be very much coming in line for him. And then Martinelli has just absolutely blew up on the Europa League scene. Obviously Arsenal haven't been doing too great at all recently. For example, they got beat on Thursday at home to Frankfurt, but as long as they don't lose 5-0 away to Standard Liège, then they will go through, and likely will go through top as well if they get like a win against Standard Liège away or something like that. But Martinelli has been absolutely fantastic for them. He's come in with 3 goals and 2 assists in the 5 games. He's only I think he's under 20 years old, but he's slotted into Arsenal really, really well. He's a very exciting player, and I hope that EA actually give these types of cards like upgrades and stuff, and we can actually use these cards, make a Martinelli usable at this stage of FIFA. I think it would be really, really cool if EA gave it to this to him, whether they will or not, because of the fact that maybe he won't sell packs because of being a low rated card. I don't know how EA think, but I think based on his performances he definitely deserves a chance to be able to get in there. And then getting into the next set of players is going to be Lionel Messi and Bruno Fernandes. For me, Messi's going to get in there. I think he's been fantastic again for Barcelona in what has been a very, very difficult group for them. He's coming with 2 goals and 3 assists across the 5 games, and obviously 1 final game still to play. I believe he played as well his 700th game earlier on this week in their home match against I believe it was Borussia Dortmund, where he got 2 assists in that game, I think. But he's been fantastic once again. I'll admit I'm a Ronaldo fan. I'm not really a Messi fan, but having said that, I still think he's a phenomenal player, and on general form right now he probably is the better player in form than Ronaldo. I think he stands a better chance than Ronaldo getting into the team of the group stage as well, and I think with his return I think he can definitely get in there. And then also Bruno Fernandes, he's been running the show for Sporting in the Europa League, who are guaranteed to qualify. I think they're guaranteed to qualify top. They're definitely guaranteed to qualify, whether top or second, I'm not too sure. But he's been doing very well. He's had 5 goals and 3 assists. Of course, there were talks of him potentially moving to Manchester United in the summer. That didn't happen in the end. Who knows? Maybe he could go there in January, or maybe next summer he might move out of a team. Who knows? But for Sporting, they absolutely love this guy right now. He's been doing amazing for them, and he has got to get in there. He'd be a really, really good card to have. I think he just has to be put in there, in my opinion. But that set done. And the next player is going to be Cruz and Paulo Dybala of Juventus. So Toni Kroos has come in with 1 goal and 1 assist. I wasn't really too sure on this one. I didn't really know whether to go with him. I'll be honest, I was kind of struggling of someone to put in for this final midfield position, but I've gone with him in the end because of pure pack sales. Obviously, there's no doubt about this. EA will look at this and they'll also try and put in players, famous players from, famous players IRL who they know will just sell packs in general. And Toni Kroos, I think, can definitely sell packs. So interestingly, I don't know if I've got this card right. I might have made a bit of a mistake in him because he does have a 90 rated Ultimate Scream card. I don't know if his pace is being bumped. For example, on his ultimate, I'm sure on his base card he's only got like 50 pace or something, and then his scream card give him like 20 extra pace or something. Guys, let me know if I've kind of messed up on that one. That might be something that I've done wrong on my part. I'm not too sure, but on how the rating system works, he would go up to a 91 rated, but whether he'd have 76 pace or not, or would it be a lot lower, I'm not too sure. I might have messed up with that one a little bit, but Paul Dybala, though I haven't said that, I think has definitely got a very good chance of getting in there. 3 goals and 1 assist for Juventus, arguably being their best player so far in the Champions League, and of course are guaranteed to qualify top of that group as well, ahead of Atletico, ahead of Bayer Leverkusen. They've done very, very well, Juventus, in that group, and Dybala has been absolutely amazing for them. I'd be very happy for him to get another card, and I think he stands a very, very good chance to do so. And then the final set of midfielders, the first one is going to be Sabitzer of RB Leipzig. He's done very, very well for them so far. He'd have an amazing card as well with his bumped up stats, but he's had 2 goals and 2 assists for them. They've also been able to qualify for the last 16 for the first time in their history, which is fantastic. So I think a card could be very much coming his way. And then also Angel Di Maria of PSG, I think, stands in with a very good chance as well. He's had a fantastic group stage where he's been able to come in with 3 goals and 2 assists, scoring goals against, I think he might have got 1 goal or 2 goals against Real Madrid at home. He's been very consistent across the whole competition so far, so I think also a card could be coming his way. But now, guys, let's get into the attackers. Okay, guys, so finishing off with the attackers, the first batch we're going to have a look at is going to be the 2 UEFA Europa League cards. We're going to start off with Jimenez of Wolves. Wolves qualifying for the last 32 of the Europa League in a fantastic 3-all away draw against Braga on Thursday. He's been fantastic for them. He's been their best player, certainly in the Europa League overall in terms of goals-wise. He'd go from an 83 to an 84 rated. Of course, he also does have a road to the final card at the same time, but 3 goals and 2 assists for Wolves. He's been their main man, so a card I think would be deserved for him. And then also Morelos of Rangers. Now, Rangers aren't guaranteed to qualify yet. This is a bit of a risky one. Having said that, their final home game is against Young Boys, and as long as they get a draw in that game, I think they're guaranteed to qualify, because they're already on 8 points. It doesn't matter if the other team, if Porto wins, because they'd at least finish second. So I think Morelos can definitely get in there. I think they can do the job at home to Braga. He has scored 5 goals, also got 1 assist for Rangers. He's been, once again, just like Jimenez, the main man for Rangers. It's been a very, very tight group. I think Rangers deserve to get into the last 32. I hope they do, obviously, because, you know, with Steven Gerrard managing them. But I think he's a really, really good player. In my opinion, I think he's good enough for the Premier League. I honestly think if a Premier League team was to sign this guy, he would take it up another level. Just like when Suarez signed for Liverpool from Ajax, he just became a better player. And then I think that can definitely be the same for Morelos. I think he's a very, very talented player. Just needs to work on his discipline. But yeah, I think a card could very much be coming his way. Then the next 2 players are going to be Lewandowski and Haaland. Now, Haaland's a bit of an interesting one. We'll talk about him in a second. But Lewandowski has just got to get in there. 10 goals in 5 Champions League group stages. He scored 4 goals away to a Red Star Belgrade in the space of about 20 minutes earlier on this week. He's just been absolutely unbelievable. And to be fair, you know, as much as I'm a Suarez fan and stuff like that, I think Suarez is starting to get a little bit past it now. Don't get me wrong, I still think he's a very good player. I think the likes of Aguero are very good strikers, but I think Lewandowski probably is the 3rd best player in the world right now. Like, I did mention De Bruyne, I was a massive fan of as well, being the 3rd best player, but I think Lewandowski, certainly in terms of goals-wise, is just unreal. He really, really is a fantastic player, and to get 10 goals in the group stage is just absolutely insane. Having said that, Haaland of Red Bull Salzburg has been arguably just as good. He's come in with 8 goals in the group stage. They've scored 16 goals in their group stage. They scored more goals than Napoli, more goals than Liverpool. They're one of the highest goal scoring teams in the Champions League group stage, and they probably won't go through to the last 16. Now, obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan. I really hope that we go to Salzburg and we do beat them. I'm not confident we'll come away with a clean sheet though in that game. I think Haaland will score. I think that we can qualify, and obviously if they beat us like 1-0, for example, we still qualify like in 2nd place probably. But yeah, I think even if they go into the UEFA Europa League, I still think he deserves to get a card because he's been that good. He's been breaking so many records. He's such a young striker as well. I really, really hope that even if they do finish 3rd in the, and go into the UEFA Europa League, that EA still give him a card based on a fantastic independent like performance from him. He's been absolutely unreal, and he's been helping their team so much. Although having said that, Red Bull Salzburg have actually got quite a few players all round, but I think he really, really would deserve a card. Then the final player to make up the 23-man squad from packs is going to be Dries Mertens. He's also done very, very well. He's had 4 goals and 1 assist in his group game. He got the 1 goal away against Liverpool earlier on this week. A fantastic finish in the first half just to slide it past Alisson. But he's been doing very, very well though for Napoli. He's one of their all-time top goal scorers and maybe even one of their all-time top appearances. He could potentially score more goals than what Diego Maradona did for Napoli as well, which just goes to show of how good and a consistent player that Mertens has been for Napoli over the years. But also this year in the Champions League group stage, he's been flying for them, so I think a card would be deserved for him. And I'm going to finish off with 2 SBC cards that I think we could see. Karim Benzema for Real Madrid has been fantastic himself. He could have against a pack, so he could have become the SBC. I think we will see him in there one way or another. For example, maybe it might be Mertens that might get the SBC cards. It might be that Haaland gets the SBC card. We're not too sure, but I decided to throw Benzema in there. He got 4 goals and 2 assists across all the group games. I think he will be a pretty expensive player, but at the same time, he will be a fantastic card to have. And I think, obviously, with Real going through and how good he's been for them, pretty much helping them to score most of their goals, I think he would certainly deserve to get into this team. And then Rojo of Manchester United. I'm sure a lot of United fans are going to be happy. He hasn't had any goals or any assists, but he's come in with 4 clean sheets. He's been the defender that's played in every single UEFA Europa League game, apart from their last one, 2-1 defeat away against Astana, but he didn't even start that game. All 4 games where they were able to keep clean sheets in, he has started. So I think based on that, I think an SBC would be deserved for him to certainly get slots into this team, in the group stage team. But anyway, guys, that is the 23-man squad. Let me guys know if you agree with some of these ratings, if you agree with the players that are going to get in there. Let me know in the comment section. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.